Warriorz was designed by Guillaume Blossier and is published by Matagot, and it's a party game where a bunch of warriors get into an arena and fight it out in gladiator-style combat by playing cards and rolling dice until either one player is left alive or until 7 rounds pass, and whoever has the most points wins. When this game came out, a lot of comparisons were made between this and another game that's very similar to it that came out in the same year called King of Tokyo, which I'll talk about at a later date. But because the two were so similar, and King of Tokyo was way more popular, Ultimate Warriorz ended up flying under the radar. Do I think that was a mistake? Let's find out. The component quality overall is really good. The standees and the tokens are thick cardboard to the point where you're not accidentally going to bend these as you mess with them. The standees also work very well. I love the fact that each one has a different outline on them, so that if you're maybe say colorblind, you'll still be able to tell who is who based on their shape. The artwork is also very well done. All the characters look distinct from each other. You're not going to confuse who is who based on the art. The symbology is also really easy to read. Most of it's easy to understand. Some of the abilities might be a little bit harder to get than others, but I think after 2 or 3 plays, the abilities for the characters will be pretty easy to remember. I also really like how they utilize the box. You take the box for the game, you flip it over, and then you take these little pillars that you can leave in or leave out. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect the game. But you can put them in, and it basically makes up the arena that you're playing in. Really nice feature. It doesn't add anything really to the game thematically wise or mechanically wise, but it does add a really good look. Speaking of mechanics, let's talk about the main mechanic of the game, which is the card play. And the card play is something that I really enjoy, because there's actually a lot more to this than just playing a card, moving around, and fighting. There's actually a few tactical decisions to be made here. First of all, you play 7 of the 8 cards that you have, so there's going to be 1 card that's not going to be played in the game. So that adds a little bit of questioning, when's the best time to play this? Should I play this card at all? Maybe I should just forego this card, and I don't think I'm going to need it. Something I also really like about the card play is that there's different elements that force you to really think, when's the best time to play this card? You might want to play a card that's high in initiative so that you're most likely to go first. You might want to play a card that's low initiative, so you'll likely go last, but it's incredibly powerful, and you might be able to set yourself up for a big strike. You might want to play a card that might not hit very hard, but you're incredibly hard to hit. I also really like how each character has multiple special abilities, 2 to be exact, and the abilities are different from each other, and I, so far at least, have not found any abilities that are overpowered. They do seem pretty balanced, which is great. The dice rolling, however, can be a big turnoff for people, because everything you're doing is determined by the roll of the dice. If you want to try and hit somebody with a ranged attack, you roll the dice. If you want to try to smack somebody with a sword, you roll the dice. And it is possible to get messed over by bad luck over and over and over again. And there really is no way to mitigate the luck of the die roll unless you spend a lucky charm, which you can only use if you're the target to make somebody either flip one of their dice over or reroll up to 3 dice, which can end up actually making it worse for you. Thankfully, you're not entirely screwed over if you get messed up by some bad luck, because the game does a pretty good job at encouraging everybody to go after everyone instead of just beating up on one person, because the game actually has it set to where if you eliminate someone in the first 3 rounds, the fans get upset and throw boulders at you, and you're taking damage. Another thing is that each player also has the big 3-point heart token, so everyone wants to go after each other because they want to be the first person to hit them so they can get that big token. Another feature I really enjoyed was the fact that because there's a point system and not just last player standing, that also will discourage people of just standing back and just waiting for everyone else to beat each other up. Because while you do that, you might end up being the last player standing, but because the game is only a few rounds, you might not end up getting the points you need to win because some monsters might still be left. So that actually discourages just sitting back and waiting, and actually encourages people to fight. But again, because you don't want to eliminate someone too early, it encourages all-out assault against somebody trying to take them out. As the theme of this gladiator style fight fit with the mechanics? I think it does, because you're just simply playing cards, moving around, chucking some dice, and trying to swing at each other, and you're doing this really fast. The game is not long at all, about 30 minutes instead of 45 minutes. So it's just a simple play cards, move around, chuck dice, and attack. And because of how fast you're doing it, it kind of does bring out this gladiator feel. Overall, very satisfied with this game. If you have a group of friends coming over and you're looking for a party game to bust down, definitely check out this one. I'm going to give Ultimate Warriorz an 8 out of 10. With all that said, I want to know what your thoughts are on Ultimate Warriorz. Do you love the game? Do you hate it? Do you think it's just okay? Let me know in the comments and we can have a conversation. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you like what I do and you want to support me, make sure you subscribe. Thank you all as always so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.